How's everybody doing today? Yeah? All right. 'Tis the season, isn't it? Christmas is right around the corner, and lots of presents are going to be passed around now, aren't they? But it seems, though, maybe we've lost touch of what this season is all about. Now, how many of you woke up joy-filled this morning? I mean, joy, the joy that puts a little pep in your step. All right. So, okay, not the happy group like 9 a.m. Apparently, you need to wake up earlier because about half of them raised their hand during the first service. So, but if you really think about this season, if you really think about this season, it's about the gifts of life. In the Advent season, we celebrate peace, love, what's the other one? Hope. And then this week, joy. And being joy-filled. And what does that feel like? When was the last time you were joy-filled? I have 3 people that woke up joy-filled today, so this morning. But can you think back to the last time that you had a happy surprise? Or that somebody gifted you something? All these outward things. It's easy to look at those things and say, oh, yeah, that brought joy to my life. I was happy. But when was the last time that you looked inside? You woke up just happy to be alive. When was that time? Can you think back to that? This morning. All right, Ann, I'm counting on you. Oh, no, that was Bev. Okay. And that's what this season is asking us to do. Every day should be a holiday in your heart. Every day we should be celebrating the birth of the Christ, the Christos, the anointed one within us. We need to tap down into that. And this is the perfect time of year for that reminder. But what stops us 364 days of the year from doing that? And did you know that this season is actually the most depressing season? This is the time that people suffer the most depression, anxiety, hopelessness, when it should be a hope-filled season. And why is that? Well, some say it's the over-commercialization of this holiday, that people have forgotten what it's truly about. Now, I know for my daughter, at times she thinks it's about the flat-screen television or the Xbox 360 that she may or may not be receiving. I won't do a spoiler for her. But really, if these outer expressions, if these outer gifts are bringing us joy, once they stop, what do we have? We're each called to reveal, to unwrap the gift that we are, that you are enough because the Christ abides within you. You are enough. You are the gift. Now, I want you to turn to your neighbor and remind them that they're the gift. Let them know. Say, you are the gift. All right, now turn to your other neighbor, the one that you ignored, and let them know that they are the gift. How does that feel when somebody lets you know that you are the gift? Does that feel good? But that's the truth of you. That you are the gift. And each and every time that you show up willing to help out your neighbor or a loved one or someone that you don't even know, you're unwrapping your gift to them, your gift of love, your gift of gratitude. Wouldn't it be great for the remainder of this week, because we are on Sunday, so it's the beginning, right? Yes, we're not at the end. But for this week, that you show up no matter what is happening, you show up that joy-filled presence in somebody else's life, that they can count on you being their gift. Some people may not be receiving a Christmas gift this holiday season. Let their gift be you, because the gift is actually within you. The Christ is within you. Jesus said, whatever I do, you shall do, and more, these things. Because he knew when he tapped into that, to that Christ power, that he was unwrapping a gift for everyone to see. And he shared it with the world. And that's what we're called to do. To bring this present, our presence, to people every single day. You don't know maybe the difficulty somebody is having today or tomorrow or the next day. But you just showing up and smiling at them can alter their life and their decisions. We don't know what's happening for anyone out there. But what we can do is control how we appear in their world. Wouldn't it be nice if everyone that you ran into this coming week always had a smile for you, always had a good word, a helping hand? Wouldn't that be a great gift to receive? Isn't that something that would feel good for you too? And so now we're being called to be that. Be that which we want to receive. Our world will mirror back to us exactly what we show up as. If you want more happiness, show up happy. If you want more joy, be filled with joy first. That's the only way that we receive these presents. Because remember, like I said, and like you said to each other, we are the gift. We are the gift to one another. And even though this holiday season, some may have everything. And just know, because the Christ is within you, that you have everything as well. And it's not about the trinkets and the electronics and the brand new cars or the house that your loved one may gift you, and I'm praying for you. I'll affirm it for you. Know that there is something so priceless, so unique, and so precious within that every day is Christmas. And if you can celebrate yourself, your God, what else do you need? Each one of you showed up here today because you said yes to something. You said yes to yourself. You said yes to your spiritual progression and your unfoldment. And for that, we thank you for saying yes, because you realize that there's something more within. And now you're around like-minded people that remind you of who you are. You are God in action. You are a gift to one another. And to talk more about this God within, this Christ, this Christos, I now hand it to Reverend Leavitt.
Thank you, Reverend Johanna. I don't know about you. You want to go home early? We'll take an offering now. You didn't have to agree with me. It wasn't that funny. However, I have the microphone. We are the gift. We are the gift, not only to each other, but to the world, to our community. Jesus and the Christ. Jesus was born to be the way shower and to have an awakening to the Christ, our divine nature. Other theologies may call that different. Another name, it's the same thing. We call it the Christ. So Jesus was born, because you know what? Before Jesus, humankind was in a mess. It was in a mess. We were messing it, screwing it all up. I'll just be blunt. So we needed someone, apparently, to show us the way. Jesus was born because Jesus had the awareness. He was awakened to the awareness of the Christ within him and in all people, and he expressed that Christ in all that he thought, did, and said. Now, please remember now, the Christ has always been, is, and always will be. We haven't woken up to it yet. Jesus did, and he came to show us the way. And please remember that in Scripture, I'm not a Bibleologist. What do they call that? Bible scholar, or a scholar of any sacred text. However, I've read enough of them to be extraordinarily dangerous. And nowhere in any of them does Jesus say, worship me. He says very clearly, follow me. Follow me. It is following Jesus' way that we bring heaven to earth, and all things are given. It's heaven on earth when we follow the way shower. And it's about a new birth. It's about a spiritual birth, a new birth with every one of us. Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, calls this new birth the awakening of man to a consciousness of his unity with the one universal spirit. The change from mortal to spiritual consciousness through the begetting and quickening power of the word of truth. It is this change that comes here and now. Here and now, it's time for change. Let's look at this again. The awakening of man, you man/woman, please understand, Uncle Charlie wrote in a time when, well, anyways, to a consciousness of our unity with God. The change from mortal sense consciousness to spiritual consciousness, our true nature, through the begetting and the power of the word of truth. Charles Fillmore also said the greatest teaching in the Bible is Christ in you, your hope of glory. He didn't say Christ in him, my hope of glory. Christ in you is written. Our hope of glory is that Christ's presence within us. And it is patiently, very patiently waiting to be awoken. Friends, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. Look around. Look in your life and places. You know, all of us, I'm going to speak for everybody because I can, because I have the microphone. All of us, we're asleep at the wheel of life, at least on occasion. We're asleep at the wheel of life. And I think a great sage, by the way, Dolly Parton says it really good. Don't get so busy making a living, you forget to make a life. Folks, we are so busy trying to make a living that we forget to live. We forget to live. We're worried about what's happened, trying to figure that out, or we want to know what's going to be. And we forget the now. Kung Fu Panda, another sage. The past is history. The future is a mystery. That's why we have the now, and that's why it's called the present. Speaking of gifts, that's the greatest gift. Be now. Live now. Everything you did got you to here. Tomorrow's the best it's yet to be. Live right now. But we're so caught up in the stuff. Oh, my house, my mortgage, my rent, my partner, my relationship, my job, my car, what I wear for clothes. Passion plate. That we don't live. We get caught up in everything outside us. Joy lives within us. Joy lives within us. When we step into our Christ nature, we are joyful whether we like it or not. You change how you look at stuff. You know, you might say, geez, I got to go to work. You know what happens when you change that to, I get to go? I worked at Hawaiian Electric for 20 years. 12 years of those was as a supervisor, shift supervisor at the Honolulu power plant. Now, if you ever see me flinch when the lights flicker, you get the drift of what my job was kind of like. But I used to say, geez, I got to go, and I hated every minute of it. It was a great job. I got to live in Hawaii. I got to take all the training I needed to take. I got to come here and take all the classes because that job afforded me that. But I was miserable. So the last 5 years, the light went off. I said, I'm going to change this. I woke up one morning and I said, you know what? I looked in the mirror because you can't lie to yourself in the mirror. Try it sometime. You know what happens? You do this. Look, and my image has got that, and my image says, look at me. Okay, then. I looked at myself and I said, I get to go. I didn't really mean it. It was a little better. The next morning I got up and said the same thing. I get to go. About 80% meant it. And it was about 80% better. Then that day, the third day, I stood up and I said, you know what? I get to go. It was 100% better. Same exact job, same exact people, same exact thing. But it was great. Changing how you look at it. Change what you think. Change your attitude. Set your intention. I have no idea where I am. All right, live. You want to live. Spirit is cool. Spirit just brings these things and I open mouth. But you want to live. Don't get caught up in this stuff. You are not your stuff. It doesn't define you in any way. The Christ defines you. You are all the Christ. I have to admit, I'm Lev Christ. Haven't quite got to Leavitt Christ yet. But I'm working on it. I really am. But you're all the Christ. That's what defines you. And it's so beautifully and wonderfully, uniquely, diversely being expressed by all of you. Wow. What a gift. What a gift. So in this waking up, it's time we start manifesting the abundant life. Because you know what? We're the beloved of God. Every one of us. And it's also written that as the beloved of God, we shall live the abundant life. And it comes back around again by following Jesus. We live the abundant life. We bring heaven to earth, and that's the gig. When we live the abundant life, all things are given to us. Because we are seeking the kingdom first. We're being the Christ. Wow, how easy is this? And how excruciatingly difficult we make it to be. Did you know that your human nature, that is the ego's definition, has one obligation and one obligation only? That is to express God only. Its only obligation is to be the expression of the presence of God so wonderfully and uniquely beautiful as all of you and me. That's its obligation, yet it gets in the way. We let it get in the way. We say, well, I'm not good enough for that job. I don't deserve that car. Me in a relationship, forget about it. Excuse me. You're the beloved of God. You are good enough. You're worthy enough for everything. So it's time to manifest the abundant life. And speaking of sacred text, boy, there's some great sacred text. This is the one I have discovered. It's from O Magazine. Don't laugh. This got me excited, this article. And it was about manifesting. And this author, Angelina Lombardo, she wrote The Spiritual Entrepreneur. That came out of my mouth, not anywhere close to that this morning. And those that were here know. And she says, manifesting is making everything you want to feel and experience a reality via your thoughts, actions, beliefs, and emotions. Your thoughts. Does that sound vaguely familiar to, let me think. Thoughts, actions. The principles of unity. Third principle, mind action. The fifth principle, action. What we think to be shall come to be. And when we get guided, we take action. So what you want is what you'll get. But remember, I'm going to get into that in just a minute. I'm ahead of myself. Easy spirit, don't get me going. Again, I'm easily confused, multiple concussions. But it's time to do this. And a couple ways of doing it is to know and own what you want. Okay? Know it. But more importantly, own it. Own it. And it goes back to when your mind says, you're not good enough. Yeah, I'm good enough. When your mind tries to trick you and tell you no, you say yes. Look in the mirror and say, yes, I am good enough. I am worthy enough. This is mine. Own it. It's yours. Own it. Know it and own it. Ask for what you want. The Bible also says, ask and you shall receive. There is a disclaimer in that. There's an asterisk, and the small print says, be careful what you ask for. A good friend of mine wanted to lose weight. She said these words, I want to lose weight in the worst way. She spent a month in the hospital and lost 20 pounds. What did she ask for? Well, let me take that back. What did she want? What did she ask for? In the worst way. What did she get? Thank you very much. There'll be a quiz after. That's what happens. Own and know what you want, but be really careful what you ask for. Because the universe is conspiring for your benefit. You'll get what you ask for. I wake up every morning, I say, do I want to be crummy or outstanding? Crummy or outstanding? Crummy or outstanding? I've been crummy, and it's, obviously, crummy. I like outstanding. Outstanding is great. So I choose outstanding. And you know what? It's awesome. It's awesome to be outstanding. Do I kind of lean to crummy every now and then? Yeah, but NFL, not for long, because I choose outstanding. Take action. That sounds very familiar as well. And follow your guidance. There's something, something told me. I heard something. I felt something. You know what that something is? It's the Christ talking to you. There's guidance coming from God. You're in tune to, when you're with the Christ, you're in tune to divine mind, and it's telling you how to get what you want. But how many times do we follow that guidance? That road kind of looks narrow. I think I want to take this one. And then I get halfway down there, this isn't it. Look at that road. Gee, it's kind of, uneven. I think I'll take that one. I go down that road. That's not it. You know what I end up doing? Going down the uneven rocky road because it's the way I'm supposed to go. So why not go down the uneven rocky road in the first place? Because it was the first thing that came to mind. Because something told you. It's the Christ telling you. That's the way for your dreams and desires. Don't let your mind get in the way. Do not let your mind. You own your mind, by the way. You own your thoughts and your feelings too. They don't have you. They do not have you. You have your thoughts. You have your feelings. You have your mind. Have it work for you. Have it do its one obligation. That's to express God only. And then be thankful. Be thankful for whatever you receive. Reverend Johanna brought that up. Attitude of gratitude is vitally important. The more grateful we are, the more we get. Be grateful. And Thessalonians says it's really great. It says, be joyful always, pray unceasingly, and in all things be grateful. All things. If you step in the mud, be grateful. Even if it's so that you are aware that there's mud and you won't step in it again. Be grateful in all things. It's a magnet for your good. In that same article, Marla McKenna wrote, she wrote Manifesting Your Dreams, if you see it and feel it, you achieve it. That's getting back to visioning. Visioning. See it. See yourself. See yourself healthy. See yourself prosperous. See yourself in that job. See yourself in the relationship that is the best ever. See yourself in it, feel it, and you will achieve it. At my locker at Hawaiian Electric, many years ago, I put a picture, about a 4x4 picture of a 1994 Intruder 800 motorcycle. It was red. I take it back, it was blue. Sorry, I lied. It was a blue picture of a 1994 Intruder 800 motorcycle. And every day I'd sit there and look at it. Tie my shoes and look at it. Tie my shoes and look at it. Look at it every day. Every day I looked at it. Consciously looked at it. You know what I got? A 1994 Intruder 800 motorcycle. It was burgundy. Close enough. And I thought, this works pretty good. So I think that I became a supervisor and I got myself a cubby. I got me a cubby with walls. You know what walls are for, don't you? Vision boarding. I put up 30, that's right, 30 pictures of a Hemi-orange Dodge Challenger RT. 30 of them on my wall, in my cubby. I was surrounded by Mopar. It was great. It was great. And you know what happened? I put myself behind the wheel of 400 U.S. large volume horsepower. That was Hemi-orange. Indeed. I saw it happening, and it happened. I'm telling you, vision. See it happening, believe it, and then you will achieve it. Folks, it's time to wake up and manifest your abundant life. It's time. Be the gift. Give that gift to you. The Christ is the gift that's waiting to be opened patiently. Open it up, step into it, and be that. And you will live the abundant life. Hi there. Hi. Thank you for allowing me and the privilege of talking with you.
Thank you, Reverend Leavitt.
And from both of us to all of you, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.